She was 40. He was 25. Hollywood called it a modern fairy tale, but behind closed doors it was a terrifying setup. Today, the mask completely shatters as explosive, leaked recording fragments and shocking new insider accounts allege what really went down behind the ultra-exclusive velvet ropes of Sean Diddy Combs' infamous white parties. A visibly shaken Demi Moore has allegedly broken her silence during an emotional, off-camera breakdown with close confidants, exposing how her high-profile marriage to Ashton Kutcher wasn't just a Hollywood romance. It was an entry point into an elite, high-stakes web of psychological manipulation, lifestyle pressure, and dark industry secrets. I felt like a scared 15-year-old girl just desperately hoping somebody would love me, Demi reportedly sobbed during a leaked audio session recorded in a private Los Angeles studio. I gave up my sobriety, my dignity, and my sanity just to fit into a world that was designed to consume me alive. What did Ashton Kutcher and Diddy allegedly demand behind those sealed security gates? What really happened during those endless lost nights in the Hamptons and Beverly Hills? And how did an A-list actress end up fighting for her life while the world cheered on her glamour? Hold on tight, because every single piece of footage, every suppressed document, and every industry lie is about to be exposed right now. You are not ready for how dark this gets. To understand the sheer magnitude of this scandal, we have to travel back to 2003, an era when Hollywood royalty and hip-hop nobility merged to create an untouchable social hierarchy. Demi Moore was at the absolute peak of her legendary career. Having starred in mega blockbusters like Ghost, A Few Good Men and Indecent Proposal, she was an icon of beauty, power and independence. But behind that flawless movie star exterior was a woman carrying heavy, unhealed childhood trauma. Having survived a tumultuous upbringing in New Mexico, including saving her mother from a tragic overdose when she was just a young girl, Demi spent decades searching for stability and true love. After her high-profile divorce from action legend Bruce Willis, Demi had built a sanctuary of peace. She was almost 20 years sober, devoted to her 3 daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, and living away from the chaotic party circuits of Los Angeles. Then came Ashton Kutcher. In 2003, Ashton was the undisputed golden boy of young Hollywood. Rising to stardom on that 70s show, he was young, charismatic, wildly ambitious, and deeply embedded in Hollywood's fast-lane nightlife. He was also the mastermind behind MTV's hit prank show Punk'd, a show that brought him directly into the inner orbit of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy and Ashton formed an immediate, intense bond. Diddy, the undisputed king of Hollywood excess, hosted annual white parties, extravagant gatherings held in the Hamptons and Beverly Hills where the world's most powerful billionaires, politicians, and superstars gathered under a strict dress code of pure white. But beneath the pristine aesthetic lay whispers of underground after-hours gatherings, heavy peer pressure, and non-stop indulgence. When Ashton met Demi in New York in 2003, the media went into a frenzy. The 15-year age gap became instant tabloid fodder. Within 3 weeks, Ashton had proposed with a massive 5-carat diamond ring. To the outside world, Ashton was the charming younger man who swept a Hollywood queen off her feet. But insiders knew a very different dynamic was forming behind closed doors. According to longtime industry sources, Ashton was obsessed with elevating his status from a sitcom heartthrob to an industry power player. And in the early 2000s, status was measured by your proximity to Diddy's elite circle. Diddy himself publicly acknowledged how Kutcher's relationship with Demi shifted their dynamic. In old television interviews, Diddy recalled how Kutcher stopped hitting the regular club circuits as soon as he got with Demi, stating that their wild nights out abruptly stopped. But according to newly surfaced leaks, Ashton didn't leave that world behind, he simply elevated his involvement. Ashton wasn't just a guest anymore. By 2009, he was co-hosting Diddy's famous white party alongside Demi herself. Ashton wanted to prove he belonged at the head of the table with Diddy and the biggest players in the world, reveals a former entertainment executive who worked closely with the couple during the mid-2000s. He didn't just want to attend the parties, he wanted to bring the lifestyle home. And Demi, terrified that her younger husband would get bored of her, felt immense pressure to adapt to whatever Ashton wanted. This toxic desire to maintain Ashton's attention created the perfect storm. A ticking time bomb that was bound to explode and tear Demi's world apart. The turning point occurred at an exclusive, off-the-record white party after gathering held in a private, high-security mansion. For years, the public believed Demi attended these events merely as Ashton's supportive wife. But according to explosive testimony from a former household assistant and newly leaked private text transcripts allegedly originating from Demi's inner circle, the reality was a nightmare of psychological coercion. Demi, who had maintained nearly 2 decades of strict sobriety, found herself surrounded by an environment where boundaries were systematically dismantled. Sources allege that during these private after-parties, Ashton began nudging Demi to abandon her rigid rules. He would tell her that she was being too strict, that she was holding him back from living fully, and that true love meant being free, experimental, and open, an insider revealed. He made her feel like if she didn't participate in the wild, uninhibited culture that Diddy championed, he would leave her for someone younger who would. Desperate to hold on to her husband, Demi made a fateful choice. She picked up a glass of wine, breaking nearly 20 years of hard-won sobriety. That single drink triggered a downward spiral. Shortly after, Ashton allegedly introduced the concept of bringing third parties into their intimate life, a practice Demi later admitted in her memoir, Inside Out, made her feel sick with anxiety, but she agreed nonetheless to prove she was the fun, cool wife. Now, leaked internal communications between Hollywood insiders suggest those ideas weren't spontaneous. They were allegedly encouraged within Diddy's inner circle, as tests of loyalty and modern excess. The climax of this coercion reached a boiling point on September 24, 2011, their 6th wedding anniversary. While Demi was away filming a project, Kutcher was spotted partying at a San Diego hotel with a 22-year-old woman named Sarah Leal. When the news broke across international tabloids, Demi didn't hear it from her husband. She discovered the heart-wrenching betrayal via an automated Google alert popping up on her phone while she was in a hair and makeup chair. When confronted, Ashton allegedly delivered the ultimate psychological blow. According to sources close to the situation, he weaponized their past, claiming that because Demi had agreed to break her boundaries and participate in threesomes, the lines of infidelity in their marriage were already blurred. Demi was crushed. The sacrifice she had made to keep him had been turned into the very weapon used to destroy her. Shocking twist. But the story gets far worse. A leaked memo from a high-profile Hollywood crisis PR management firm reveals that Kutcher's team allegedly attempted to cover up the San Diego scandal by utilizing connections tied directly to Diddy's security apparatus, attempting to buy out non-disclosure agreements before the media could run the story. When that cover-up failed, the fallout wasn't just a breakup. It sent Demi Moore into a catastrophic, life-threatening spiral. Following their separation in late 2011, Demi Moore's private agony spilled over into a public medical emergency. Shattered by the betrayal and haunted by memories of her time spent navigating the high-pressure party scene, Demi spiraled deeper into severe substance abuse. She began consuming up to 12 Vicodin pills a day, washing them down with vodka mixed with energy drinks. Her body weight plummeted to a dangerously frail 102 pounds as she spent hours fixating on her physical appearance in the mirror, convinced she wasn't young or attractive enough to keep a man happy. On the night of January 23, 2012, horror struck inside Demi's Benedict Canyon home. During a small gathering after inhaling nitrous oxide and smoking synthetic cannabis, Demi suffered a massive, violent seizure in front of her terrified daughter, Rumor Willis. The frantically recorded 911 call captured the sheer terror of that moment. "She's semi-conscious. She's shaking. Please, oh my God, hurry." Demi was rushed to the hospital on the brink of death. As news of Demi's hospitalization broke worldwide, social media exploded. But while fans flooded the internet with prayers, a massive online war broke out. Anonymous Twitter accounts, alleged to be connected to industry insiders, began leaking detailed threads exposing the exact timeline of events leading up to her breakdown. At Celeb Unmasked, Demi didn't just relapse out of nowhere. Ashton dragged her into Diddy's extreme lifestyle, pressured her into changing who she was, and when she broke, he walked away to marry Mila. Look at the timeline. Demi Moore Diddy parties Hollywood exposed. Celebrities quickly began taking sides. High-profile figures openly criticized Ashton for his behavior, while others tried to downplay his connection to the dark side of Hollywood nightlife. The backlash against Kutcher intensified dramatically after old video clips resurfaced showing Ashton on late-night talk shows openly laughing about Diddy's wild parties, stating, I have a lot of stories I can't tell. Diddy party stories are some weird memories. Second shocking twist. Just as Kutcher's team was working overtime to damage control his image, an anonymous whistleblower operating under the handle Hollywood Ghost released alleged internal emails from 2010. The emails suggest that Demi had explicitly begged Ashton to stop bringing individuals associated with Diddy's inner circle into their private life, warning him that the environment was triggering her past traumas. Ashton allegedly replied to one of those messages with a cold, devastating line. "If you can't handle the heat of the world I live in, maybe you're too old for it." The release of those alleged emails sent shockwaves across the entire global entertainment industry. Pop culture commentators, podcasters, and news outlets dedicated hundreds of hours of broadcast time to dissecting the toxic dynamics of early 2000s Hollywood power couples. Online platforms turned into a battleground, dividing fans into two fierce camps. Team Demi. Millions of fans praised Demi Moore for her courage in detailing her painful journey in her memoir, viewing her as a survivor of psychological grooming and Hollywood excess. They demanded that Ashton Kutcher face public accountability for his alleged role in breaking her sobriety and exposing her to high-pressure party environments. Team Ashton. Defenders argued that Ashton was a young, naive actor who was simply caught up in Diddy's massive star power, claiming that Demi was a grown woman responsible for her own choices and relapses. The drama escalated further when former party attendees and mid-2000s socialites began coming forward on TikTok and YouTube, claiming they witnessed firsthand how uncomfortable Demi often looked at those high-profile events. "I remember seeing Demi at one of the Hamptons gatherings," claimed a former celebrity stylist in a viral video that racked up over 5 million views in 24 hours. "She looked like a ghost standing in the corner while Ashton was surrounded by Diddy's entourage. You could see the sheer exhaustion in her eyes. She wasn't having fun. She was surviving." Industry executives were forced to react. Major brands that worked with Kutcher faced fierce pushback, with internet petitions demanding he address his past association with Diddy and his treatment of Demi. Meanwhile, Demi's 3 daughters, who had famously stopped speaking to their mother for 3 agonizing years following her toxic spiral, released emotional statements reflecting on how terrifying it was to watch their mother transform into a stranger under the weight of addiction and heartbreak. "It felt like our mom had been replaced by a monster," Tallulah Willis publicly admitted during a candid talk show appearance. "We didn't know if she was ever coming back." The narrative had officially shifted from simple celebrity gossip to a devastating cautionary tale about the cost of Hollywood ambition. Just when the world thought this tragic story had reached its absolute climax, a final mind-blowing revelation sent the entire internet into pure pandemonium. A newly uncovered, unredacted legal filing tied to ongoing industry investigations contained a bombshell deposition from a former security operative who worked private security for elite Hollywood events during the 2000s. According to the sworn statement in the document, Ashton Kutcher wasn't merely an unwitting participant dragged into the party scene. He allegedly held private, unreleased footage recorded during several exclusive gatherings hosted across Los Angeles mansions. The deposition alleges that Kutcher possessed hard drives containing footage that detailed the exact high-profile guests who attended those closed-door events, including moments that directly corroborate Demi's claims regarding the intense pressure exerted on attendees. Even more shocking, the document hints that Demi Moore herself was quietly subpoenaed by private investigators working on high-level entertainment lawsuits to verify the authenticity of specific events that occurred between 2005 and 2010. When asked about these hidden recordings during a recent private event, a close confidant of Demi reportedly dropped a chilling statement that left everyone in attendance frozen. Demi didn't write everything in her book. She held back to protect people. But now that the truth is coming out, she has nothing left to lose. The vault is about to be opened. Could Demi Moore be holding the ultimate evidence that could permanently shatter Ashton Kutcher's public image and expose the deepest, darkest secrets of Diddy's inner circle? Is Ashton preparing a massive counter-lawsuit to silence these explosive leaks before they go any further? The Hollywood elite are panicking, security teams are working around the clock, and the truth is leaking out faster than anyone can control. Guys, this is easily the most explosive, disturbing Hollywood cover-up we have ever uncovered on this channel, and the story is far from over. Now I need to hear from all of you in the comments right now. Do you believe Demi Moore was psychologically manipulated into changing who she was? Or do you think Ashton Kutcher is being unfairly blamed for her personal choices? What do you think is hidden on those unreleased tapes? Spam your thoughts down below. Let's get the debate going. If you want to stay ahead of every single update on this breaking scandal, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell right now. We are currently working on part 2 of this series, where we will be dropping newly leaked audio files and exposing the secret legal battle happening behind closed doors right now. You do not want to miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next update.